The bed is pretty cozy. It's so cozy that Friedlin is curled up in it. But that's okay. Friends share. And he lets me sleep at the foot end. This is Friedlin, my rabbit sheep. I had to cast the transformation spell during my mage training. And this is the result. The teddy is just soft and cuddly moral support. A bowl of fresh, cool water for my roommate. There's no way I'm taking the bowl with me. I mean, how am I supposed to put a bowl of water into my pocket without getting my robe soaking wet? It's not like I can just carry anything around. But I could use the bowl here in the room. Do you want some water, Friedlin? He seems to be hungry more than anything. Do you want some water, Friedlin? He seems to be hungry more than anything. The entire school building is a bit scary. No one knows exactly where it was the last 20 years. It disappeared overnight and then reappeared just as suddenly once the war ended. There's a lot of magic in these old walls. The stove is always on, for example, and even though I've never put any wood in it. A beautiful golden ear trumpet. One of my predecessors must have laid it up there. A very tall predecessor. This has to be the oldest shoe I've ever seen. It's so old it's even lost its ability to stink. Master Marcus and the Archmage were so busy rebuilding the city that no one had the opportunity to teach me anything about teaching. This box was in a shop window down in the city. I thought it might be useful. After all, there are children with magic wands on it. But unfortunately, it just seems to be a bunch of those tricks, like that old one with Mr. Wupperman, the top hat and the rabbit. A short white rope, a pair of dice, playing cards, and a guide on how to lead people up the garden path. That's just not right. Real magic or none at all. It can't be healthy in the long run for Friedlin to always eat parchment and old scrolls. Perhaps he'd like the pet food I bought. I think we make a good team. A young mage and his rabbit sheep fighting side by side as a force for good. Unfortunately, Friedlin doesn't do much other than lay in bed and eat. I still have to convince him it's important. Okay, we'll do it like this. I'll give you some delicious pet food, and you give me my notebook back. Okay, buddy? All right, me first. Okay. Now give me my notebook, please. Hey, I thought we had a deal. These are the aviator goggles that my granddad gave me before my first trip to Seastone. Well, a pair of aviator goggles. The original pair was lost when granddad fired me into the cannon. Do you want some water, Friedlin? He seems to be hungry more than anything. It looked like this before I ever moved in. Generations of teachers must have left their stuff here. I like it. The school has a history and when I have time, I'll rummage through it. This is my contract, signed by the Archmage. I'm the first teacher in the school of... My whole family stayed in the White Ridge Mountains. Why would they even want to come to Seastone? This isn't their world. Little Sydney can walk now and reach everything that's on the workbenches. That tripled her invention output. Meggie doesn't build battle robots anymore since the war is over. Now she's experimenting with computing machines, but Grandad said there's no future in it. A bowl of fresh, cool water for my roommate. That's strange. There's paper in the bottom of the shoe. Oh, maybe the shoe has a hole and the paper is supposed to protect the wearer from getting wet feet. It's a sheet from a book. It's folded in the middle and printed on both sides. That equals 4 pages. It wasn't torn out. It looks more like the glue weakened and the sheet fell out. I'll just take it with me. Do you want to... He seems to be hungry more than anything. Well, buddy? What are you eating there? Hey, that's my notepad. I might still need that notepad. Hey, I thought we were a team. Friedling gets pretty grumpy when he's hungry. Truth be told, he's always hungry. Well, buddy? What are you eating there? Hey! Maybe I can lure Friedling away from my notepad. That's it. That's all there is. Hey, Friedling, look! Food! All you have to do is hop over here and get it. Wow! My rabbit sheep has superpowers. But now the food is gone and Friedling is still hungry. No wonder I didn't do it right. It says, space-saving instant dry food. Soak in water before feeding. Ah, crap. Friedeling's crazy about this stuff, and I've never even prepared it properly. Friedeling's crazy about this stuff, and I've never even prepared it properly. I'm not sure Friedeling would prefer this paper to that in my pad. Besides, I might still need the book page for something. I don't know much about the history of magic. I wanted to read a book about it, but I couldn't find anything relevant in the whole school. Mages use balls like this to communicate over long distances. He'll know how I can tame those unruly students. So, what was that number again? 64731?
Hello.
Ah! can't get to the notepad. And if I don't hurry, soon there'll be nothing left of it. A few of them hang on. A magical stove is a fine thing in winter. I'm not sure Friedling would prefer this paper to the... Ow! That stone is definitely more than just warm. That's when I found out Grandad has a whole box with his goggles. Every time he tries to persuade some idiot to do something stupid, he makes a rousing speech and then hands over his old aviator goggles. I can't remember Master Marcus's number. I had it written in my notebook. A bowl of fresh... How about some water to wash the food down? That's what I thought. Food was pretty dry, right? See how well I take care of you? Then maybe we could talk about my notebook. Oops. I'll read the instructions next time, promise. Sorry. The way he looks at the moment, he could give Bertram, the world's fattest hamster, a run for his money. But he'll get back to normal. A short nap and he'll be right as rain. It says, Master Marcus, only in emergencies, 64179. This is definitely an emergency. I'm losing my students' respect before I even had it. Well, 64179 and 9. Hopefully this will work this time.
Yes? Hello?
Master Marcus!
Wilbur, what is it?
Well, there's this boy who's naughty and cheeky and he doesn't listen to me.
Wilbur, you're a teacher now. Of course the students are naughty and outrageous. You have to assert yourself.
I've only been a teacher for a few days and I'm all alone. And the school is eerie and there's no textbooks and no one wants to learn anything and...
Wilbur, no one expects you to be the perfect teacher right away. Wake your students' enthusiasm for magic. That would be a good start.
Why do I have to teach here all alone? Why aren't there any other teachers?
Many majors died during the war. There are only a few of us left. And most of those who survived are now pursuing more lucrative activities. Alchemy, ghost hunting, children's birthday parties.
But training new mages is important. If the rest are just out for the gold, then who will take care of the next generation?
Being a teacher is an important and honourable task, Wilbur, even when others fail to appreciate that.
If it's such an important task, why aren't you teaching at this school?
Politics. My brother is the Archmage, and he's in the middle of an election campaign. If he were to give his own brother a job, well, his opponents would just love that. But I'm not angry. I did my part. I trained mages when no one else would. And I found the most talented gnome mage the world has ever seen.
Apparently there was a powerful gnome mage a long time ago. Did he kill any dragons?
According to legend, the last of the great dragons, Gremma, was defeated by a gnome.
That's the one I mean. What was that gnome's name?
No one knows. He arrived at a time of great need and saved the people of the Southlands by accomplishing the impossible. Then he disappeared without a trace.
Wow. But one of my students asked me for his name.
Then he probably wanted to lead you up the garden path. Some students want to find your weaknesses and see how far they can go. Don't take any guff.
You said I should inspire my students, but how am I supposed to do that? I don't know anything about the history of magic.
Obviously not, otherwise you would know that you'll never attract anyone with that subject.
But it's in the curriculum.
Oh, bugger the curriculum. Do what you're good at. Cast spells. Fill them with wonder. Make them want to be able to do the same.
But I don't know how.
Wilbur, you conjured a sheep out of a hat, and you didn't know how to do that either. Go out there and knock them dead. Let the magic do the work. You may not know what you're doing, but you're doing it.
Just do some magic.
Just do some magic.
Thanks for your help, Master Marcus. I'll get through the lesson one way or another, and then I'll get back in touch, okay?
Sorry, but no, Wilbur. You caught me packing. I'm off to spend 2 exciting weeks with a couple of friends.
What, you got on vacation? Well, now?
Maybe it's more than just a holiday. I sold the mage school, as you know. I want to start something new. Finally do what I really want to do. Role-playing games.
Role-playing games?
Live role-playing games. They start in a few days. We leave the normal world of magic, monsters and dungeons behind and immerse ourselves in a fantasy world. I play a removals contractor who is caught in a traffic jam with his truck and must therefore spend a night in a motel. Can you imagine what adventures could be waiting there for me?
But I thought being a teacher was really important, and...
That it is. Have fun.
Master Marcus! Hello! I cannot do magic without my magic wand, and without magic, I cannot inspire the students, and without inspiration... What I'm saying is, I need my wand. My wand! The King of Thieves got it for me during my mage training. He and the other rats have been tirelessly helping to rebuild the city in recent months. They work closely with the Archmage, albeit mostly in secret. I still haven't figured out exactly how it works. Sometimes it performs the most amazing magic, and sometimes it can't even perform the simplest of tasks. Archmage Alistair's promised to have a look at it sometime. Maybe it has a loose connection or something. Come on, Wilbur. You can do it. You can inspire your students. That's better.
So what about the magic runes?
No one knows the name of the gnome that defeated Gremma. Nice try. Feet off the desk, or I'll make it bite them off. enough with history of magic. Let's cast some spells. Fairy games doesn't sound bad, right?
Impossible!
Not bad, eh? Wow! That is magic. And here you can learn how to control it. That's it for today. Tomorrow we'll do something else.
Oh, sorry, honey. Get rid of that, will you? I need a word with Mr. Weathervane. Mr. Weathervane, nice to finally meet you in person.
And you are?
How very precious. I rather thought it'd be wise to watch out for you, Mr. Weathervane.
Why watch out for me?
You only play the innocent little country yokel. I always knew that. Your patron, Archmage Alistair, will not win the election against me. Did you know that we're only 3 points behind him in the latest polls?
No, I wasn't aware of that. How may I help you?
Help me? One of the Archmage's top men wants to help me. You know how the game is played, don't you, Weathervane?
What game?
Things are heating up. The House of Cards is starting to collapse. I know it, and Alistair knows it too. We both lie low, waiting for the other to make a mistake. And he has made the first.
What mistake did the Archmage make?
He hired you. A gnome with a fake diploma issued by none other than the Archmage's brother Marcus.
I earned my diploma honestly. I have passed all 3 of the exams and...
Gnomes know nothing of magic. Everyone knows that. And you've never taught before.
But Archmage Alistair believes in me.
As the head mage, he appoints the professors. But I'm the merchant council leader and I assign the administrative posts. Headmaster Block will reveal your incompetence and the newspapers will report on the Archmage's dubious personnel policy before the election.
You shouldn't have just shot my fairy.
Do not underestimate me, Mr. Weathervane. I am very well aware that those are not fairies. Cobolus Vergastus, flying kobolds. Don't tell me you conjured them up yourself.
Yes, I did. All 5 of them.
Amazing! Powerful magic is needed to manifest living creatures. That is why most necromancers only reanimate skeletons. Dead matter can be much more easily controlled, as of course you know. Or should know.
The new headmaster. Who is he?
Horatius Block. A good man. Very correct and very strict.
If he can help this school return to its former glory, I look forward to working with him.
Former glory? This old ruin? It was already run down back in my day. And wherever it was for the last 20 years, it definitely looks like they didn't have any cleaners.
My friend, Archmage Alistair, is better suited to bring the city and the country back into shape than anyone else.
Oh, you believe that? He is a great mage. Anyone who doubts that is mad. And he was a great leader during the war, most of the time. But what we need now is someone who understands the economy.
And that's you?
I am a rich and successful merchant. I have rich and successful friends. Who could be better suited to making others rich and successful?
Alistair would step down for you if he believed that.
You know what? I actually believe you're right. Strange, isn't it? How little he worries about defending his power.
So I guess it's all been said, hasn't it?
Indeed. You're on a sinking ship, Withervane, but I could still be convinced to throw you a life preserver.
I trust the Archmage.
Then, Mr. Withervane, you shall perish with him. Here, elect Sybil Van Buren. She knows how to get it done. Come along, honey, we're leaving.
There aren't any of these in my book of fairy tales, Mama.
I know, honey. Who wants to look at something that ugly?
Can you turn him into a unicorn, or the Cheshire Cat, or the Frog Prince?
This is the desk that Chantal, the daughter of the council leader, and little Timmy share. Hard to imagine two students being any more different. Chantal is only here because of its tradition in her family, and I don't think she really cares about magic or has any real talent for it. Timmy, though, well, he is eager to learn and was so excited the last few days. It's for students like him that we have to get this school back up and running. Oh, most of the plants have dried up. No one looked after them. Only this plant must have found a water source somewhere. Perhaps one of the windows has a leak. A pencil case. A ruler. Nothing special. Oh, Chantal forgot her book. Seems to be a book of fairy tales, but one of the tackier kinds. I don't know who that boy was. He was a right pain in the ass. However, he seemed to understand a great deal about magic, and if I managed to teach him some manners, he could be an excellent student. The last time a fire burned in this was before the school disappeared 20 years ago. And even if I could, I shouldn't start a fire in it anyway. The flue was broken, and the smoke would fill the entire classroom. Generations of students have left their mark, especially in the form of little pictures and sayings carved into wood. Here's a particularly long one. For all drifters and troublemakers, condemned to write the same sentence on the board over and over again, no problem. Cast the automation spell on the piece of chalk and it does it all the work for you. Bartholomew. Hey, aye, that's cheating. Pretty clever though. The spell carved into wood down there, I'll just write it down. The mixing of potions is an important part of magic. It's a bit like cooking, except a stew doesn't kill you if you add the wrong ingredient. Or if it's stirred wrong. The little fellas look like they've got nothing but mischief in mind. I hope they don't get into too much trouble. This book looks very old and important. Half the class had runny noses, most were recaptured. This is the roll book where the teacher writes down any unusual events. Teachers are traditionally paid in apples. I got this one myself, because I didn't want to spend my first day without an apple. It didn't let me down this time though. It worked even better than I expected. It was like it wanted to conjure. I could hardly keep it under control. Unusual. This device looks more like ordinary engineering than it does magic. Most magical devices have lots of golden parts, elaborate decorations, and bells and whistles, just the way the mages like them. This one could easily come from a gnome workshop. Ooh, crazy drawings and symbols. That must be really high magic. Only the wisest mages can understand all that. I suspect that some sort of strange magical creatures were kept in the cages. Students, for example. No? With a little luck, I can get through the day without causing an explosion. When the school disappeared 20 years ago, obviously no one looked after the animals. Expected consequences, really. I don't need the whole skeleton, but a sharp-pointed bone like this might just prove useful. It appears they wanted to replicate the fish's natural habitat as exactly as possible, including miniature treasure chests, just like the ones frequently found in the sea. Hey, some old coins. Maybe one of my predecessors had a vicious fish guard his retirement fund. Introduction to magic, sheep breeding and care, statistics. That seems to be some kind of timetable. A few old coins. They must have been underwater for a long time. You can hardly see the detail. A little ash, but also some unburned waste. Here's a sheet of paper. Another book page. Or more precisely, another folded sheet of paper upon which 4 pages have been printed. When I look at the page numbers on the first sheet and on this sheet, it seems there are at least 5 sheets missing. It gives you hope to know that something beautiful and peaceful has survived in this gloomy building. Ah! Ugh! Archmage! Remy!
If it isn't our newest professor. How was your first class, Wilbur?
I don't know. At first it didn't go so well. I wasn't properly prepared.
And then?
Then I asked your brother what I should do, and he advised me to do some magic. So I conjured up some kobolds, and I think the students liked it.
Ah, well done. That's the right thing to do. You've already pretty much won the battle, Wilbur. Once they want to learn, they will.
What brings you to the school?
I wanted to pay Horatius Bloch, the new headmaster, a first visit and see how the school's doing.
That's very nice of you. But don't you have more important things to do?
Well, it's my old school.
I once walked these halls as a child myself.
What the Archmage doesn't want to tell you is that something is wrong here. For a few days he has sensed the presence of something evil.
The council chairman was here. She picked up her daughter from my class.
Ah, terrible person.
She has great influence, and she has friends in high places.
She could also use her influence to do good too. So why is she trying to bring you down?
She believes that that would be a good thing, Wilbur. Almost no one wants to do evil. There are just very different views on what is evil and what is good.
So what's he like, the new headmaster?
He's no mage, that's for certain.
He is an agent of the council leader.
First and foremost, he is a reliable official with principles, Raimi. The council leader of the merchants did appoint him, and he may advocate her policies. Yet I do not believe he will conspire against us. He is stern, but upright.
Did you see the way he looked at me? Like I was vermin. No, I tell you. The council leader has hired him for one reason and one reason only. He is supposed to make life difficult for our Wilbur here.
Am I being set up to fail so they can put the blame on you, Archmage?
Ah, if that's their plan, then they have already lost.
How's the campaign coming along? I hope we're winning.
We're still in the lead.
But our margin is shrinking. Van Buren's bigwig cronies are throwing tons of gold into her election campaign.
How are things in the town? Have things calmed down?
Not really. The barricades are getting higher and the camp is getting larger.
People are getting impatient, and who could blame them? The war is over, yet everyone is doing worse and worse.
But you're doing your best, Archmage.
It takes time, Wilbur. The deeper the wounds, the longer they need to heal. And nothing causes deeper wounds than war.
We must deliver results. Most still trust Alistair, but the mood could swing. Then we would not only lose the election, we would have a riot on our hands.
You said you sensed something evil earlier. What do you mean?
Everything we do and think leaves a trace. You know how you sometimes shudder when you enter a place where great evil has been done? Dark magic leaves a particularly strong trace, like a bad smell.
And it smells like dark magic around here?
I first felt it a few days ago. First in the lower town, then in the upper town, and now here at the school.
Where did it come from? I mean, do you know who's responsible?
I don't. The trace dissipates. There is too much wild magic in the air here at the school.
We must keep our eyes open at all times. Good detective work will serve us better in this case than some hocus pocus.
I think I'll go see the headmaster. Goodbye, Archmage. Bye, Remy.
Goodbye, Wilbur. Don't let them intimidate you.
I'll do my best, and I won't give up.
I know.
You go on ahead, I'll be along in a minute. I want to talk to you in private, Wilbur. There are problems.
I hear Alistair's finally appointed you head of the Secret Service. From King of Thieves to high public office, eh?
Absolutely. Made quite a stir. It is the first time a rat has ever officially held an official government position. More than a few are of the opinion that with so many humans out of work, rats should not receive any jobs at all.
But nobody knows the city like you rats do. You really helped me out during my last adventure. You brought me potion ingredients and my fantastic magic wand.
And you saved Timmy and my entire clan from starvation. We'll never forget that, Wilbur Weathervane.
That bit about dark magic all over the city does not sound good.
It's not just that. I think the Archmage's life is in danger.
What?
There was an attack, or there may have been one. Alistair insists it was a coincidence, but how often do heavy gargoyles just break off a mage tower when he is standing below them? I have assigned as many rats as I can spare to guard him, but you must also keep your eyes open, Wilbur.
Me?
Not only is something going on in the city, something is happening in the school too. We need information. We need to find out who is behind all this.
Timmy was a great help during my first lesson this morning.
Yes, he has done well. He absolutely wants to be a mage, just like his role model.
Just like the Archmage.
No, just like the hero of the Black Tower. For Timmy and many others, you are one of the heroes who ended the war.
Oh, me? Then it's best I talk to the headmaster and ask him what I should do for him.
Whatever it is, just do it and act inconspicuous. But keep your eyes open for anything unusual while you do so. Well, things that look unusual even in an enchanted mage school.
Got it.
Why don't we meet down at the inn after work? Then we can exchange news.
Oh, I just hope Headmaster Block doesn't keep me busy all night.
Oh, you'll be fine. You defeated the Shadow Army, never forget that.
Yeah, just... back then I wasn't alone. When you summon creatures, I've read that you don't really create them. You just call them from somewhere else. I don't know where the kobolds came from, but they don't give me the impression they want to go back there soon. The school's not in the best condition, but at least there's a public mage school in Seastone again. And now we will gradually reclaim the building, and I will help train a new generation of mages. We will tidy the classrooms, we will tidy the halls, we will tidy the stairwells. We will never surrender. Maybe the tapestry shows who the knights served. I don't know much about these things, unfortunately. We didn't have knights in the White Ridge Mountains. Probably they sank in the snow. When I first arrived at the school a few days ago, I got a real fright when I first saw it. I mean, I knew about armor from books, but if you imagine that there's a real person inside, and has been for decades, ew. That's silly. Whoever's in the armor would have died a long time ago. Unless it's a ghost. A lever. No idea what it does. A lever. No idea what it does. We carried loads of rubbish out of the school. I guess we must have overseen those. I'll take them with me. Done is done. The school looked terrible when it reappeared. It took days before we could move freely on the ground floor. Don't even want to think about upstairs. What's this? What's this? Another book page. I'll take it with me. The school's not in the best condition. The worst of the rubbish has been disposed of, but it will still take weeks before everything is clean and tidy. Headmaster Block.
Ah, Professor Weathervane. There you are at last. I have some tasks for you.
You mentioned tasks earlier, Headmaster?
Yes, you have 2 tasks. As you know, the Archmage is coming early tomorrow to officially inaugurate the school. Important political and business personages will be attending, and as you can assumedly see, the school is not in a presentable condition. Council Leader Van Buren has hired a caretaker, but he cannot do the work alone. Your tasks are to help him clean the floor in the entrance hall and remove the cobwebs by tomorrow.
You want me to sweep the hall and get rid of the cobwebs? Is that really my job as a teacher?
Yes, indeed. A school is a team endeavor, so that means you have to do what I tell you.
If you told me to get rid of the flying kobolds, that I would have understood.
What did you say? Flying kobolds? If there are flying kobolds infesting the place, they must be got rid of too. See to it, Weathervane. Floor, cobwebs, flying kobolds, fix them.
I look forward to us working together.
I'll be frank, Professor Weathervane. You have a mage diploma, but have not completed the tests required in order to work as a teacher. Attested credentials, a written application, nothing. You are only here on the Archmage's recommendation.
That's right. But there's currently a shortage of mages, and everyone must do their best.
Do their best is well and good, but it does not replace the formal and mandatory training for teachers of higher magic.
But the Archmage Alistair trusts me to teach here at the school.
Well, yes. Mages have a well-known penchant for chaos. I'm still trying to get an overview. The records management in this school defies description. Council Leader Van Buren wants to reorganize this educational institution and finally bring structure into the place, and she has my full support. Correct management of the teaching records must once again become the teaching staff's primary task. That is the only possible way to institute efficient control of learning and teaching methods.
Huh. And apart from cleaning, what else is there to do?
The inventory has revealed that a number of items of school property have gone missing. Among other things, the school library.
The whole library has gone missing.
That is correct. I asked the Archmage about the matter, and he confirmed to me that the room was there before. He does not know where it is now. He said something about its being in hiding, perhaps, or away traveling. I think it's unseemly. I want that room. We are a school, and we need a library.
Agreed. But where should I start looking?
That I cannot tell you. You are the mage.
You support the council leader in the election, right?
Indeed I do. We need to an extensive bureaucracy and boost the economy as quickly as possible. To me, the council leader appears to be a more logical choice than a mage. But do not worry, Weathervane. I don't blame you for your political naivete. As a school headmaster, I am neutral and always act according to school rules. And of course, political influence in schools is prohibited.
Tell that to Council Leader Van Buren.
What's that?
Oh, it's one of the campaign brochures the council leader put in my classroom.
I'll take care of it.
You ask a lot. I don't know if I can get all this done by tomorrow morning.
By tomorrow morning? You have until 72 o'clock.
72 o'clock?
I have developed my own efficient metric system of measuring time. A day has 100 hours, consisting of 100 minutes, with 100 seconds each. Everything else is too confusing.
So, I don't even have until tomorrow morning?
For a properly qualified teacher, even the impossible poses no problem. Or should I note in your file that you do not feel up to the tasks assigned you?
No, I'll do it.
Very good. And then you can call it a day and prepare tomorrow's lessons.
One thing's clear. Headmaster Block wants me to fail, but I won't disappoint the Archmage. And secondly, I like this school. And a school library would be great for the students. And third, The work the headmaster has given me is the perfect opportunity to keep my eyes open for Remy.